Okay, welcome again back to the financial management. Today we'll be studying about the objectives. Last class we started about the basic objectives of financial management. So today we'll be studying the further. So let us study what is wealth maximization. Wealth maximization, shareholders value maximization is also a main objective of financial management. Wealth maximization means to earn maximum wealth for the shareholders. So, the finance manager tries to give a maximum dividend to the shareholders. He also tries to increase the market value of the shares. The market value of shares is directly related to the performance of the company. Better the performance, higher is the market value of shares and vice versa. So, the finance manager must always try to maximize the shareholders' value. Okay. So, did you understand the difference between profit maximization and wealth? In profit, you are trying to earn more money in that particular year. Increase the profit of your profit and loss account. But what is wealth maximization? It is the value of shareholders. Maximize the value of shareholders. Who are the shareholders? They may be equity shareholders or preference shareholders. What do you give them? You give them dividend. So higher the dividend, higher is the value of money. Higher is the value of shares in the market. So what should be your main aim? One of the main aim is to increase the shareholders' wealth. Okay, we'll study further what it is. Wealth maximization. This concept is to improve the value or wealth of the shareholders, as we studied in last slide. It considers both time and risk of the business concern. It provides efficient allocation of resources. It ensures economic interest of the society. Okay. So thus, wealth maximization objective of a firm is to maximize its wealth and the value of its shares. Okay. Wealth maximization is a modern approach to financial management. Maximization of profit used to be the main aim of business and financial management till the concept of wealth maximization came into being. It is a superior goal compared to profit maximization, as it takes broader arena into consideration. Wealth or value of a business is defined as the market price of the capital invested by shareholders. Let me tell you in a more simple way. Only getting good marks and taking rank is not important. Improve your behavior. That is very important. Okay. If you want to succeed, you should have good behavior, good culture, respect your elders, then only you can succeed, otherwise no. Similarly here, in your business, only earning money is not important. You have to increase the value of your business. Clear about this? So let's proceed further. The concept of wealth maximization is defined as follows. It simply means maximization of shareholders' wealth. It is a combination of two words, wealth and maximization. A wealth of a shareholder maximizes when the net worth of a company maximizes. To be even more meticulous, a shareholder holds share in a company or a business, and his wealth will improve if the share price in the market increases, which in turn is a function of net worth of your company. Okay. Second point. This is because wealth maximization is also known as net worth maximization. Finance managers are the agents of shareholders, and their job is to look after the interest of the shareholders. And what is the interest of shareholders? maximization of the market prices of their shares. The objective of any shareholder or investor would be a good return on their capital and safety of their capital. Okay, whenever a person invests somewhere, whenever it is his money, he always thinks about earning back. When he invests somewhere, he wants to earn back. Not only earning back, the most important is also the safety of the money what he has invested in your business. So if you want to show that it is safe, your business should have a good value. Its net worth should be maximized. What is net worth? How it is calculated? That we'll study further. Okay. So both these objectives are well served by wealth maximization as a decision criteria for business. What are those objectives I am telling here? Good return on their capital and safety of their capital. Okay. So now we'll study the factors affecting wealth maximization. First one, avoid high level of risk. To maximize the value of the firm, proper balance should be maintained between risk and return. All of you know that whenever there is a business, you have risk and you should also aim for a return. Okay. So, without risk, there is no success. If you want to proceed further, you have to take risk. Okay. Now, for example, some projects have a high profit, but at the sometimes there is high degree of risk also. Company should not accept such risk. If there is very high risk, don't go for such risk. You should always choose the projects where there is a risk but there is also return. Okay. Next one, pay dividends. Payment of regular dividend on shares increase the market value of shares and also the goodwill of the firm. All of you know that when people invest in your company, they also expect a return. Why do they invest? Because you already have a good name in the market. Your market value of shares is good in the market. Now again vice versa, to increase the goodwill of your company, to increase the market value of your shares, you have to pay the dividends. Okay. Payment of dividends is very important. Next point, maintain growth in sales. Yes, increase in sales is increase in earnings. Hence, company should always have large volume of sales. That is important. When you want earnings, you have to do something, that is, you have to make sales. Clear? Next, maintaining the market value of shares. Again, firm should take numerous steps to maintain the market value of shares at reasonable level. Maximization of shareholders' wealth is closely related to the maximization of firm's value in the market. Clear? This I have been telling since the last few slides. Maximization of the firm's value in the market is related to the maximization of the shareholders' wealth. Okay, these are the factors affecting wealth maximization. Okay, all of you are clear? Let us proceed further. Yes, now we'll study the advantages and disadvantages of wealth maximization. So first we'll study about the advantages. What are the benefits? First one is avoiding the ambiguity. Yes, wealth maximization definition is very clear. There is no ambiguity in that. That is, it is based on the concept of cash flows generated by decision rather than the accounting profit. So as I have been telling you, it is not the accounting profit that is taken into consideration. It is the decision what you take on the profits. how much of dividend you are going to make payment to your shareholders. So it is very clear. Second one is quality of benefit. The quality of benefits means the benefits what you are going to receive in the future. Now, for example, people are investing in your company. With what intention they are investing? Because they expect benefits in the future. So, wealth maximization objective always says that you are going to increase the wealth of the shareholders. So, it is very clear. You're giving benefits, quality benefits to your shareholders. Next one is time value of money. As I have been telling, the value of money keeps on changing. The value of money which is today would not have been earlier or may not be tomorrow. Okay. In wealth maximization concept, it is very clearly defined that it has a time value, that is money has a time value, that is the benefit received in earlier years should be valued higher than the future received benefits. Okay. Next one is promotes the economic welfare of shareholders. So, when the market value of shares are increased, automatically economic welfare of the shareholders also increase. Next one is payment of regular dividends. Yes, your main aim is to increase the wealth of the shareholders. So for that you have to make the payment of dividends regularly. Then only the value of your company increases. The wealth of your shareholders increases. Okay. So these are the advantages of wealth maximization. Now we'll study what are the disadvantages. Equity of wealth is not maintained. Yes. Not everybody invest into your company. Very few people invest and they are receiving the benefit. So equity of wealth is not maintained. Next is firm's wealth is not considered. Naturally, here you are giving more importance to the wealth of the shareholders. Naturally, you are also considering the wealth of the firm, but more importance is given to the wealth of the shareholders. Benefits to the society is not considered. Yes, here you are not considering not much regarding the society. You are concentrating only on your shareholders' wealth. Government restrictions. Yes, the government imposes various restrictions on expansions, closures of the companies. Okay. So it forces the management to act according to the government restrictions and manner. In such cases, it is not possible to maintain the maximization of shareholders. Every company should follow the restrictions or the rules made by the government. Reduce the profitability. The management ignores its social responsibility, that is, protecting the interest of customers, paying fair wages to workers, maintaining proper working conditions, providing educational and physical and medical facilities to the workers. Even some social actions are adopted in the interest of the shareholders. It ultimately reduces the firm's profitability. Lastly, wealth maximization is a prescriptive idea. So all of us know what is a prescriptive. So prescriptive means relating to the imposition or enforcement of a rule or method. So here it is not descriptive, but it is a prescriptive idea. So these are the advantages and disadvantages of wealth maximization. Okay. Yeah, now we'll study the difference between profit maximization and wealth maximization. The essential difference between the maximization of profits and the maximization of wealth is that the profits focus is on short-term earnings, while the wealth focus is on increasing the overall value of the business entity over time. Clear? Profit is short term, wealth maximization is long term. In wealth maximization, you always concentrate on increasing the value of your firm, equally the wealth of your shareholders, and naturally the goodwill of your firm also increases. So these differences are like here given below. First one is planning duration. Under profit maximization, the immediate increase of profits is paramount. Most important is the immediate increase of your profits. For this, you may not opt for discretionary expenses such as advertising, research, and maintenance because your intention is making profit. But what is happening, the amount is if it is being invested in these expenditures, your immediate profits may be affected. So you may not expend on these discretionary expenses. But in wealth maximization, the management always pays for discretionary expenditures. Here the value of firm is very important, increasing the value of the firm. Okay, we'll go for the second one, risk management. Under profit maximization, management minimizes expenditures. So, it is less likely to pay for hedges that could reduce the organization's risk profile. A wealth-focused company would work on risk mitigation. So, its risk of loss is reduced. Okay. Yes. Next one, pricing strategy. When management wants to maximize profits, it prices the products as high as possible in order to increase the margins. A wealth-oriented company could do the reverse, electing to reduce the prices in order to build market share over the long term. This is very clear. Next one, capacity planning. A profit-oriented business will spend just enough on its productive capacity to handle the existing sales level and perhaps the short-term sales forecast. A wealth-oriented business will spend more heavily on capacity in order to meet its long-term sales projections. So all these differences very clearly say that in profit maximization objective, the firms always think about short-term profits. It wants to earn immediately. But in wealth maximization, the companies always concentrate on long-term benefits, the name and fame of the company, the market value of the company, the market value of shares and the shareholders' wealth. Okay. So it should be apparent from the preceding discussion that profit maximization is strictly short-term approach to managing a business, which could be damaging over the long term. Whereas wealth maximization focuses attention on the long term, requiring a larger investment and lower short-term profits. But with the long-term payoff that increases the value of the business. Okay. So here we'll see how to calculate the wealth. Wealth is said to be generated by any financial decision if the present value of future cash flows relevant to that decision is greater than the cost incurred to undertake that activity. That is, increase in wealth is equal to the present value of all future cash flows less the cost of investment. Okay, in essence, it is the net present value of the firm, NPV. So, increase in wealth is equal to present value of cash flows minus the cost, where this is the formula what you have. Okay. So here I have given a clear explanation of the advantages of wealth maximization model. What I had explained earlier, same explanation is given in the written form over here. Okay. So here are the functions of financial management. So it is divided into two parts, managerial functions and incidental functions. Managerial functions are also called as executive functions, which are as follows: fund requirement decision, financial planning, financing decision, investment decision, dividend decision, cash flow and requirements, appraisal of financial performance, borrowing policy decision, advise the top management to make efforts for increasing productivity and capital. Parallelly, we have here incidental functions or routine functions: to supply the funds, to negotiate with bankers and other financial institutes, to safeguard cash balance, proper custody and safekeeping of documents, record keeping and reporting, to provide information to the top management, to keep track of stock exchange quotations. So these are the functions. Regarding the managerial functions, you'll be studying in detail about financial planning and financing decision, investment decision, dividend decisions, all different types of decisions, fund requirement decisions. You'll be studying in the next topics in complete detail. Cash flows and its requirements. So about these routine functions, these are the normal functions which a financial management manager has to perform. Clear about this? So again we'll be studying in detail about these functions in our next classes. Okay. Thank you.